back to my Director of Football non-league to legend. Since you were last with us, against Bradford Park Avenue, we have played against Kingstonian, which we won, and it was quite a good game. I think we were second at the time, they were third. I think now they're top. So they've had a good bit of a run. We've had a little bit of off form since. Against Tororo, Jordan Park's straight red card was disgusting. The game wasn't great. They scored after 5 minutes. Not much happened after that. Against Solihull Moors, it was a very even game. Armani from corner, the ball just pinged off and went in. Wasn't really a deserved defeat, but at the same time, we're out of the FA Trophy. Against St Albans, Connor Diamond, I've lost patience with him now. He got sent off. I think it's the third sending off he's had this season. 2 minutes into the game. We dominated the game after that. We just couldn't score a goal. But he got suspended for 3 games. And then they suspended him for a further 2. So I'm pretty sure I'm just done with him now. I'm just not going to waste my time with him anymore. Beat Slough fairly convincingly. It was an easy enough game. They had a player sent off. We were already 2 up already. And Jack Barham finally getting back into the goal. It's been a while since he'd scored. How far back do we have to go for his last goal? Yeah, Western Supermare in October. So it took him from October to December to score. Yeah, easy game. It's fine. Against Dartford, again, easy enough game. Luckily, we've not had players sent off for the last couple of games, so it's been better. We have had a couple of people come in since you were last here. We've had Leon Okuboyajo. He's an alright striker. He's only played twice off the bench because the strike force we have at the minute is good enough. But as you can see for Kettering, he's played 50 games and scored once. And he's a striker. So, not great. But this is like the third time the Director of Football has gone in for him. So Turner really rates him as a striker. One of the games he came off the bench, he was in the attacking midfield. Didn't do a whole lot in that game. So I'm not really... he can sit in the reserves. He's non-contract. It's fine. Bradley Caton came in as well. He's another one that the Director of Football has been mad after. He played 1 game. He's pretty much sat on the bench the entire time. He started one of the league games. He's fine. He's a nice squad player to have. I don't think anyone's been released since. No. Actually, has Carl Aliidi got a team? No, he has not. So, probably regretting his decision to leave. At the end of the last episode, I was talking about having a contract offer from Cambridge. I didn't get the job. I've had a couple of interviews since where I've failed to get the job from I think pretty much all of them. I have applied for a couple of jobs in League 2 because this is kind of where I'm getting most of my interviews. I'm fighting against David Moyes for 2 of the jobs. So, I got an interview with Newport County and thought, it went really well. I was like, I'm going to get this job. Grant McCann's already been offered the Newport County job. So, we're not going to be there. Then I was offered an interview by Leyton Orient. I was quite happy with that. I thought that's fine. What better way to just kind of move up a league? But no, he is... I'll bring this here. They're bringing in Coffee, or Coffee. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's taking over at Leyton Orient, so we're probably going to end up hanging on unless Forest Green or Colchester come in for us. To be honest, I wouldn't mind either of them. I could take the most poetic one if I applied for the Accrington Stanley job, because Loki Doki's Stanley Parable is kind of the reason I'm doing this Director of Football save. It'd be kind of poetic, I think, to take the Stanley job, but they're really struggling. So I'm not so sure that that's the way I want to go. I have been looking at moving into Scotland as well, but I kind of want to stay in England for a couple of seasons at least, because I know it's only the second season, but it'd be nice if I spend a couple of years managing in England. League-wise, we've dropped down to 4th because of the little bit of bad form we've had. Dagenham and Redbridge have plummeted, which I've found very strange. But Kingstonian and Dulwich Hamlet, who we play today, sitting top 2. Kind of surprised by Kingstonian, but at the same time, not really surprised, because they were, if you looked at the season preview, they were supposed to finish kind of mid-ish table. Now they're up to 3rd. We're 14th now, but we're still doing quite well, I think, sitting in 4th. And the game after that then will be the Chippenham Town, who recently sacked their manager as well. I don't think they brought a new manager in yet. Yeah, they have. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get into the game. So the team for today is going to be Little, Aki, Garnett, Matthews, Mullings. With Armani, Parks, Cotter ahead of him. Cotter's back into the team because I'm sick of Diamond. Been sent off. The last game, Adams didn't play too well, so he's going to sit on the bench today. No, I'm going to put Gary Quinn because he scored an absolute worldie in the last game. And I leave him on attack. Then we've Barham and Tate up front. Tate hasn't played well for the last couple of games, so he's not guaranteed starts at the minute, even though he has 17 goals. And Philip Roberts has been a little bit hit and miss at the minute as well, so he's going to sit on the bench today. Also, I have a little bit of a weird throat thing going on, so that's why my throat sounds a little bit, or my voice sounds a little bit weird, but I just wanted to record because I kind of want to get I'm interested. I want to see how we get on. But Gary Quinn scored an absolute worldie from the edge of the box in the last game to score our 3rd. So I'm kind of hoping he'll do something similar again in this game. Because we have been, like I said, hit and miss in the last couple of games. So Dartford was the first time we played really well. Like, other than that, we've played fine, but we've not been good enough where I've kind of gone, I want to stay at the club. I've been just applying for jobs. I applied for the Oldham job when it came up as well. But instantly, the second I applied for it, they were like, no. And Barham, straight away, 1 minute into the game, continues his good run of form. Now 10 for the season. Oldham, the second I applied for it, said, no. And wearing my Southampton jersey after Southampton did the business against Tottenham yesterday. So, even though I like Spurs, I prefer Southampton to do well. Offside. I thought Francis was going to have equalised within 4 minutes, but miles offside. Parks. Tate hits the crossbar and just pings around in the 6-yard box, but eventually it is cleared. Yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated with Tate because he has fallen off form recently, and for a while he was banging in goals like it was nobody's business. But if we can beat Dulwich, that'd be a nice way to get our. Little has been playing rather poorly in the last couple of games. He's made some awful mistakes, but he's by far and away our best goalkeeper. So if I was to drop him, I'm basically saying I don't want my best goalkeeper playing, and we'd need to score an awful lot more goals. But Cotter only got back into the team because Parks was suspended at the same time as Diamond. So Cotter got to come back in for that. If it wasn't for him picking up, or those two picking up suspensions, he'd never have been back in the team. Because I had no intention on ever playing him again. I was going to just leave him rot. But speaking of contracts, actually, Armani and Aki have both recently signed new contracts for an extra year. and Nzuzi has thrown a hissy fit about not starting. So I told him that I'd try and sell him, but nobody wants him. So he's actively seeking a move, but so far I've heard nothing about it since, and that was about a month ago. So I'm going to assume he's going to get pissy in the not too distant future. How is that not a penalty? He came in from behind. But I'm assuming he's going to get annoyed at some point in the not too distant future, and I'm going to have to deal with an annoyed player being paid far too much money to sit on the bench at best. I don't think he's been on the bench for I don't know, since the two centre backs came in, because they can both play left and right back. There's no need for me to play Nzuzi on the bench anymore, because he was my kind of like utility player who could play right back, DM, central midfield, and was capable of playing at left back. But now I've got two players who can actually play at the positions. I have no need for these guys. Quinn pops it in. Bam. Somehow not offside. I'll take it, fellers. I will take it. So I want to see how close to. I think it's because the ball. No, it looked like the ball went ahead of play. But we'll see. Surely they'll show the lines. No? Okay, we watched that highlight or the replay for nothing. But I suppose it just showed how good the goal was. I am, like I said, I kind of want to play Roberts up front with Barham, but Roberts and Barham don't play well together. But then Tate's off form, and I don't really want to play a striker who scored 1 goal in 50 games in his career. And Quinn I kind of finding Quinn's better on the left wing than he's been up front, because he's all right. He wouldn't be he wouldn't be first choice, because I would prefer to play Rees, but because we have so many players that can play up front and on the right, there's no real position like a player. Because like Quinn is my only other left winger that I'd be willing to play at left wing. So he's kind of in by default, but he's also quite a good player. Yeah. Dig in. Faith, come on. Faith. I'm going to say I'm happy. Yeah, happy with the final third, but everyone else, y'all can do better. But Tate is probably the one that I'm most likely to take off. And I'll bring Roberts on for him. Or I could bring Sanchez Watt on and put Quinn up front. So I do have options. It's not as if I'm kind of stuck. My bench is relatively good. Barham with the hat-trick. Bish bash bosh. Happy days. But Armani pushes on. I thought that pass was a bit too heavy, but Barham ran onto it. So we're 3-2 up. I'll probably make the change in about 10 minutes, maybe. I'd say roughly on the hour. I'd probably take Tate off if he hasn't upped his game a little bit. And Parks somehow puts it down the middle and still manages to get it in. I really do wish they showed what caused the penalty rather than just showing the penalty. But that's terrible goalkeeping there. Yeah, Cotter's not playing well. Aki, since the start of the season, Aki's been the one I've kind of looked at, and he's disappointing me, and I don't know. Do we bring Roberts on, or do I put Quinn up front? I think I put Quinn up front. We bring Watt on. Aki's been fairly disappointing, but now he's got a new contract. I don't think he's not going to do a whole heap different, but I thought because I was playing him on attack for a while, I thought maybe that was what was causing the issue. But actually, I'll swap these two around. Yeah. because I was playing him on attack, I thought maybe he wasn't enjoying playing the attacking role. But since I put him back on support, he's still not doing great. So I don't know if it's just that he's off form now and I need to have a word with him, or is he just not good enough? Because we do have, like, I have no problem bringing that 16-year-old in. Quinn, Gary Quinn, moves from left wing to up front, bangs it in. It's 2-2 for him. Yeah, that was when he was still at advanced forward. I'm actually going to take Cotter off. I tried Robert Adams as a box-to-box foil, and I started playing him as a Carolero. He's been a little bit hit and miss as Carolero, but I'm going to give him I'm going to play him as Carolero today and see if he... I think it's fairly similar to himself. Parks plays well as an advanced playmaker every now and again. But he's quite good deep lying playmaker. He's definitely the best playmaker we have in the team. He's probably really the only playmaker we have in the team. So like he does quite well, but it's just a case of like everything else, he's a little inconsistent. Do I want to make a change? I'm going to take Aki off. Bring on Caton. Is it Caton or Catton? I'm going to say it's probably Caton because Catton sounds weird. Would be handy if I was in my little box in the corner here. I look away and Francis gets a third. It's going to be a squeaky bum last 18 minutes. I'm just going to demand more. See, does that piss him off? I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, nobody cares. Oseni is playing rather badly in their defence. But I suppose they've shipped 5. Like their goalkeeper is playing a 6.4. For somebody who's conceded 5, that's not a terrible rating to have for a goalkeeper. Especially when your centre-back is playing like a 5.7, I think it was. But Mullings brings it into Quinn. Gary Quinn. Maybe Roberts gets pushed down even further and Quinn starts the next game alongside Barham. Because like I said, no problem dropping Tate. Tate could sit in the bench and is Barham going to get his 4th? Could save away the keeper. Please, for the love of Jesus, Adams, don't get sent off. I thought one of my players was going to get sent off. Mullings. Thank God, I thought he was going to get sent off. What kind of back pass was that? I suppose it is the age-old outscore your opponents and you win games. So we're just basically playing to outscore Dulwich. But we have the best attack force. We have the most goals scored in the league. So, the fact we've put 6 past them shouldn't be too surprising. But that is 5 goals between my strikers. I'm pretty happy with that. That was a good game. I'm glad I brought you back for the Dulwich game, because I was going to leave it until we went to the Woking game. But I said I'd come back now. Actually, where does that put us in the league? So we're 1 point behind Dulwich and we play Chippenham next, who are 19th in the league. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back for that game. So see you in a second, fellas. So it's currently game day now. As you can see, Nzuzi has left for the Dukuavu Dawa. He's going back to the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's off our wage budget. He took a €50 pay cut to go back to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And as you may remember from the last episode and the beginning of this episode, we were discussing jobs I'd applied for and how I wasn't getting any offers for. Well, I was being interviewed, but I wasn't being offered jobs. Colchester came. Just after the last game finished, I went ahead to the next day. Colchester came along and said, "We want you to be the manager, but we want your compensation to be gotten rid of. So we don't want to pay compensation for you." So I was like, all right, okay, I'll have a chat with the chairman, see what they say. The chairman turned around and said, "You must be joking." Then I said, all right, so if you won't do that, at least improve the club. And he said, "Are you joking?" So I was like, all right, fine, I'll leave it. Eagle-eyed viewers may see that there's a must respond in the right corner. So if you want to just go ahead, pause the video now, type down in the comments down below, just down there, telling me what club you think I've been offered a job for. So I'll give you a couple of seconds. You can go down there, just, we look at Nzuzi and be like, oh, the Democratic Republic of Congo is back there playing for the first time. Okay, so you've had time to put what you think down below. Yeah, it's Forest Green. They are offering me $975 per week. As you know from Lollujo's non-league to legend, it's a vegan club. I personally quite enjoy a bit of steak every now and again, but they do have the philosophies that I want. I want to play attacking football. I want to play possession football, and I prefer to develop players from the youth system or bring youth players in. They already have a director of football, so that makes my life a little bit easier, and they're not doing too badly in the league either, like 18th in the league. I'm pretty sure we can push on from where we are. We are in the transfer window as well, so I would have to act fair. Well, the director of football would have to act fairly quickly on bringing people in. But when you think about it, I was playing for Cambridge and Tranmere, and they weren't even willing to offer me a contract. And we're almost complete. We've almost completed the National A license as well. It's kind of funny that this happened when we have a match at 3 o'clock and it's 9:15. So that means they're probably not going to have me in charge for the game. But I'm going to see if I can get $1,000 off them. I will stay. I'm not going to go for a 2 year. I'm going to stay with the 1 year. But I'm going up from 400 quid to possibly $1,000. Yeah, I'm getting 1,000. There's no way I wasn't accepting that. Even if it is a vegan club, I'm still going to take $1,000. So we've left for Forest Green. So what I do is I'll go ahead and do all the boring stuff here. Set everything up so that the director of football is making all the signings, signing all the contracts and all that. And I'll bring you back in when that is done. And then we'll go and we'll have a look at Hemel Hempstead and see the players we're leaving behind. And I'll throw a couple of players on a short list as well, so I can go back and have a look at them and see how they get on since I've left. So back in a second. Okay, so we're back. I've gone through all the meetings and talking. I don't think I actually haven't done a talk to the players yet. We do have a game at 3 o'clock, which will be in the next episode. So it's going to be a way too long of an episode if I played that game now as well. This seems to be the best squad for the team that we have fit. Max Head is probably our best goalkeeper, but he's injured. So I don't really want to play him. According to star rating, Raglan isn't as good as Digby, but I think he's probably the one I'd play over him. I still have the under 23s there. Winchester's probably the best midfielder we have, but because he's carrying a knock, he has a double hernia. I don't really feel like it'd be worth putting him in, so I'm going to play 17-year-old Dean Richards instead. We do have an awful lot of players who are wanted by clubs, so I'm a little weary of that. Jonathan Obika is the best striker in the team. So that's a little worrying. Hopefully we can get somebody in who's good. Taylor Richards seems to be an absolute worldly of a player. He's on loan from City, where he actually played last season once, but he's a Man City player. He has played for them, but he's on loan with us for the season, and he's 21 games and 7 goals. So he seems to be, up there for goals. The only thing I did do was I took Dale Grubb off. He was captain. I'd taken him off and I put George Williams as captain, because I think George Williams is definitely the kind of key man. He's the one I'm going to be focusing most on. He does have Bolton interested in him, but why would he go to Bolton when he could stay in Forest Green and play with us? So we're expected to get mid-table out of the cup already. Out of the cup, we're still in the check of trade. We play QPR. Are we out of the group stage? Yeah. Yes, we made it through the groups. So we're playing QPR. So we've already beaten that, but just a case really of getting more. But yeah, Taylor Richards is top scorer in the league for us. So that's expected, to be fair. I did kind of see him as being the best player from what I saw. Even just going by kind of star rating. He himself, Rawson and George Williams are kind of the best players, and Liam Shepherd are right back. We have a good kind of core squad, but we don't have a whole lot of money. I've taken all the money they gave me in transfer budget and put it into the wage budget, and we have a little over $2,000, or a little under $2,000 to spare. So, and I made a shortlist for ex-players. Just threw a couple of Hemel Hempstead players on the list, ones that I kind of wanted to watch the careers of and see where they end up going and what happens to them. It's mostly kind of the young players and Philip Roberts, because Irish connection. So what I'll do is I will see in the next episode when we kick off the season, or the second half of the season, and our first game with Port Vale, and then we play QPR in our second game in the EFL Trophy South third round. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, all that good. I love you very much. Bye!